Video, I'm going to show you why I believe Q1 2026 is going to be extremely bullish for not only the stock market, but the crypto market. I've helped over 14,000 people since 2020 understand not how to get rich quick, but understand how these markets actually work. It's not what investments you should get in, it's learning how to beat inflation. The US dollar that you get paid in someone else's debt, if you're not getting a 6 to 10% raise every single year since 2020, you're actually losing every single year. In this video, I'm going to share with you the facts, figures, numbers, logic, and how I believe that because of the lowering of interest rates and the printing of money, that these assets are going to go through the roof. But what goes up must come down. So get prepared with the plan. On the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. So let's dive right in. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. I highly recommend you follow Raul Powell, the journeyman. He is absolutely amazing, very logic-based. He's been in the game for a very long time, and he talks about this thing called the everything code, the banana zone. But in this video right here, a short clip I'm going to show you, he's going to talk about monetizing of debt. The number one thing you should understand foundationally is inflation and monetization of debt, okay? From 2020 to 2022, they printed more money than in history. Your US dollar went down 24% in purchasing power by 2024. So your financial advisor is getting you 6 to 8%. You didn't even tread water, okay? So every single year, you're getting a decrease in your pay. What we do is we work to beat inflation. I don't care what you invest in, but you need to understand inflation. You need to understand printing of money and the devaluing of your currency, and that will help you make better decisions as an investor. And I'm going to share with you on the back end how I've made those decisions and how we've absolutely crushed inflation with my Capital DR strategy. Check this out.
Everything code cycle. And that is the cycle of using liquidity to offset debt. So basically what they're doing is printing money to pay the debt. That's like using a credit card to pay a credit card. That's the whole game we're in. This is the debasement of currency. This is the game why the rich get richer because they own assets. The poor don't because they have incomes. Incomes only grow with GDP, and assets go up by the rate of debasement, which is at least 8% a year, plus maybe an inflation rate. So that...
Okay, that line right there, if you can understand that piece that he just said, okay, the government just turned quantitative easing back on. They're forcing banks to buy bonds. Our government prints money, buys debt, sells it to us as a safe investment on the bottom of the risk pyramid. You put your money in a bank, they lend it to the next person walking. Every single bit of your income that you work really hard for is debt. Okay. What the wealthy do is we take income and we turn it into cash flow. We take the cash flow and we put it into assets that beat the debasement of the currency. Why do you think Warren Buffett just put a bunch of money into the Japanese yen? It's just money moving through the system. When Trump lowers rates, like it's going to feel really good, right? And I'm going to talk, this is going to be the next video we're going to talk about. He's going to bring rates down as much as possible. We're here to help the middle class. And guys, all the middle class and working poor is going to do is they're going to monetize more debt. They're going to, it's not real GDP growth. It's not real growth. There will be some growth in the economy because of tariffs coming in. That'll be fantastic. But if us as the middle class and the working class don't understand how macro and microeconomics work, you're going to be buried even more. And the wealth gap is going to be unbelievable by 2030. Because what goes up must come down. The low interest rates and the printing of money and the devaluation of your currency, you're going to become poor every single year the next 4 years, unless you understand how to get into assets that beat inflation.
Wait till you see the numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further early the new year. And you will see this in the new year. I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history.
Okay, so he talked about the 50-year mortgage, which is going to bury people deeper in debt. They're never going to pay off their mortgages. So we have to start thinking a little bit differently. We have to start getting financial literacy, okay? The lowering of the interest rates is just another recap right here. Cointelegraph, he talks about he's going to bring in a Fed chair. They're going to bring rates really, 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 really low, guys, which is fantastic if you understand how to monetize debt to buy assets. Okay. The Kobesi Group posted this: breaking November CPI inflation unexpectedly falls from 2.7 below expectations of 3.1. So we got inflation coming down. We have Trump bringing in a new Fed chair. Okay. He's going to bring in a Fed chair. It's going to bring rates as low as possible. Okay. Then the other thing we got coming up is the Clarity Act, guys. Now we had today the Japan did raise rates. Okay. It must have been baked into the beginning of the week. That's where we got that drawdown from, which is a good thing. We'll see how the markets respond throughout the weekend. Okay. So it looks like we got the drawdown at the beginning of this week. Okay. We got the Clarity Act coming in the first of the year. We got new Fed chair coming in, rates coming down. Guys, there could only be an inverse effect. And that's what Raul talks about. He thinks there's a 5-year cycle. Now, I'm the macro microeconomic guy. I don't do my investments based on cycles, on hype, on candles, red or green. I do them based on systems, process, structure, and logic. I exit when it's green, when everybody's greedy, and I enter when everybody's fearful. I buy when there's blood in the streets. It's Warren Buffett style investing, and I follow a system. So that's super bullish. We got the Clarity Act. Trump is going to bring in a new Fed chair, bring rates down as low as humanly possible. The government is printing like crazy already. And lastly, just in, the U.S. Senate confirms pro-Bitcoin and crypto Michael Selig, if I'm saying that correctly, as chairman of the CFTC. Okay, so let's dive in. So if you're new to my channel, or if you're still here on my channel, I thank you for being here. I repeat the same things over and over and over again. That is my specialty. Discipline, consistency, structure creates stoicism, calmness, and wealth. Okay. There's no hype. There's no hopium. We don't wait for price predictions. We build systems. So here's how my system works. C is cash flow. Cash is trash. They're about to devalue your currency. Unbelievable. All over the world, they're going to devalue currency. We're moving out of a fiat system into an asset-backed currency. I guarantee you. Okay. It's going to be an even playing field. Monetarily, it's going to be regulated a little bit different. I don't believe America in the next 10 years will be the dominant currency. There'll be a World Bank, stable coins. Everybody will have access to the system. It'll be fair. It'll be equitable. Everybody will have access to banking. That's the new system, guys. So your job, that I'm giving you a hint, is to think about what technologies, what cryptos, what stocks will be part of that new system. So that's how I make my decisions. So last bull run, I created cash generating businesses. I scaled my businesses with my cash flow. I didn't do lifestyle creep. I pushed my cash flow and my raise in income into assets. So 10% of my income goes into dividend stocks that pay me more income. So I have passive income from dividend stocks. I have my businesses that pay me income, and the income and passive income from dividend stocks goes into assets. That's A in capital. A is assets. I use things like Bitcoin, XRP are my number one and number two. And I'll start there because those are fixed supply assets. And I'll give you a specific real world example. As most Americans lost 24% of their purchasing power because of the printing of money. Okay. And then the inflation that it caused, which is going to happen again probably by 2029. So be prepared for that. It's going to get really expensive by 2030. So if you're not on the right side of all there is interest, guys. That's it. You're paying it or you're earning it. That's it. There's no emotion in this. You're paying interest or you're earning interest. That's it. Okay. The wealthy earn it and the working class pay it. Okay. So what happened is from 2020 to 2024, you lost about 24% of your dollar. Okay. I put mine into things like XRP and Bitcoin, and I went up 200% of my Bitcoin. Trump got elected. My XRP went up 800%. So I not only preserved my capital, but I grew it overall, right? Now, what happens though, is you maybe got into the cryptocurrency industry in 2025 and it doesn't feel good because you got in, you're down 30%, but go zoom out on Bitcoin, zoom out on the cryptocurrency market and stay zoomed out. People are going to be legends who bought XRP at $3.40. People are going to be legends that bought Bitcoin at $86,000. Okay. So I'm a macro long-term investor and I activate when short-term things happen. Let me explain. So cash flow goes into assets. Okay. My top assets are XRP, Bitcoin, WLFI, Solana, XLM, HBAR, and VChain. Those are my top cryptos. I have many others. I'm going to be closing out of all of them and consolidating into the top 3. XRP, Bitcoin, WFI, and Solana will be my top 4. Okay. You don't need a bunch of different cryptos. You don't need to chase all this hype stuff. You're going to get wrecked doing that. I promise you. On the stock side, my number 1 is ABTC, American Bitcoin. That gives me the access to the picks and shovels and the Bitcoin mining, and XXI, which is connected to 21 Capital, which is connected to Cantor, which is connected to Howard Lutnick. So on the stock side, ABTC, XXI, and then I have my dividend stocks that are high-risk dividends that pay me cash flow that go back into Bitcoin and XRP. Okay, Bitcoin we're never going to touch. We're going to move it into legacy. We're going to move it into leverage, okay? My assets go up. I pull profits. This is my company right here, Merlin. This is a aggregator that shows all of our cryptos in one place. Shows everything right here, guys, okay? We go here, we can see the markets on a daily basis. Gives you a snapshot of the markets. Shows you Bitcoin dominance. Okay. Then we can help you or teach you, excuse me, how to set up an exit plan. You see here, boom, you can set up exit targets. We calmly exit on the way up. Merlin sends you an alert. Hey, you're getting close, JV, to your exit target. So I calmly go exit on the way up. It's called a ladder. I ladder in on the way down and I ladder out on the way up, because you're going to get caught because your favorite influencer is telling you it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. And I guarantee it'll stop at some point. And then you didn't catch the top and you come sliding back down, and it's called depression, anxiety, and then it cycles over again. Okay. So what I do is when I exit, I go P, protection. I first max fund my cash value life insurance policies. Okay. Cash value life insurance is one of the greatest tools ever created in humanity, in my opinion. The reason why there's a bad rap is because they're not used properly. Okay. They're cash value life insurance. They need cash in them. They need to be structured properly, and you need to fund them properly. Okay. They're not retirement policies. They're being sold as these magic retirement policies. They're insurance first. There's premium. There's a cost of insurance. But if you use them properly and you put cash in them, it's a supercharged savings account. You have permanent life insurance. Your wealth is protected, zero floor. Your principal is your actual cash is actually insured. They teach you how to insure your house, your life, but not your money. We insure our money. And then what's really cool about this, family, is when the markets go red, boom, we leverage L, capital DR, L, at very low interest to go crush the hurdle rate and buy more assets. And then when they appreciate, we pay off the debt. That's how you use debt. Not to go buy a Lambo you can't afford to impress people you don't like. Not to continue to remonetize debt and spread an auto loan out for 72 months that takes away from your family. You take your income and you put it into assets. When the assets appreciate, you protect some. When you protect it, you leverage and you buy more cash flow and assets. That's how freedom is created. You just have to get on the right side of the interest quadrant. So for Merlin, go down to the description of my video, guys. All of you guys download Merlin. It's 30 days for free. You can try it. You can play around with it. You can set up your exit plan. We're so confident you can play with it for 30 days. Okay. Set up your plan. We don't hold, it's an interface. We don't touch your crypto. It shows everything. It keeps you safe. So if you're traveling, use Merlin, because somebody hacks Merlin, they hack data. They don't hack your crypto. Okay. So 30 days for free. Come in here, how-to videos. We show you how to create exit plans, or probably I call them profit-taking plans. That's in the description of this YouTube video or my social media platform. Okay. So as I said, I always repeat things over and over again. And I absolutely love the comments when people say, this dude says the same thing every day. Okay. The hint is in the hate, guys. The hint is in the hate. Yes, I repeat the same things over and over and over again. Study the bamboo farmer. Okay. The bamboo farmer for 4 years. Here's the story of the bamboo farmer. Okay. And I'm going to paraphrase the story, but a young man is getting really frustrated, right? So he goes up the mountain to see a great master. The great master is sitting there. And then he says, what's wrong, son? He says, I did everything you told me to do. You know, I did the tilling, I did the watering, I did this. He's like, well, how long have you been doing? I've been doing it for 3 months. He says, sit down. And they're staring at a bamboo tree. And he said, let me tell you the story of the bamboo tree. The bamboo farmer plants the seed on day 1, goes out there first day, tills the ground, waters the ground. Day 2, day 3, week 1, week 3, week 4, month 1, month 2, month 3, and just keeps doing it over and over. And a storm comes and he goes and repairs the ground, and he just keeps going. 4 months go by, 5 months go by, a year goes by, but every single day The bamboo farmer does what they need to do. A year goes by, nothing. 2 years go by, nothing. 3 years go by, nothing, but still does the discipline, consistent activity. Doesn't bitch, doesn't complain, doesn't yell at God because the seed hasn't come through the ground. And year 4 wakes up and boom, the bamboo tree comes through the ground. And in 90 days, the tree grows 90 feet. And he says to the young man, how long did it take for the tree to grow 90 feet? And the young man says, 90 days. He says, no, it took 4 years. So the question I have for you is, are you willing to be patient for 4 to 5 years? If you're not, don't get in. Don't do it. But you're willing to wait in a job for 30 years that you hate to retire with a 401k with $350,000 to $1 million to build someone else's dream, but you're not willing to sit patient through the green, the red, the ups, the downs, and build a system and till the ground over and over and over and over and over again. And the reason why I can rightfully tell you the story, it happened to me. I've been asked this since 2000. I started my first company in 2017 when I left corporate America. I failed 5 times. And then finally, when I made it, pandemic shut us down. But I got back up. I tilled the ground. Then I finally found this amazing asset called Xrp. And then on December 20th, 2020, SEC sues Ripple. But I got up the next day and I tilled the ground. And I watered it. And I bought more. And I tilled the ground and I watered it. And I built Capital DR and I built a system. As everybody bitched and complained in the bear market, I created more cash flow and I bought more assets that they were bitching and complaining about. Trump gets elected, completely life-changing. And now all we do is feed the system. We don't wait for hype. We don't wait for hopium. We don't wait for price predictions. Every week we create more cash flow through dividends. Okay. We work to scale our businesses and create better service and products and services with our 6 companies. As the cash flow goes up, we keep our lifestyle percentage too. So if you ever see my lifestyle change, I have a percentage. So my housing expense is 15% of my income. That keeps, so my lifestyle just changed recently. It's still 15% of my income because the rest is all invested. I invest and I spend. It was hard. It took discipline, but that has changed my family's life. And so every single day, I'm dollar cost averaging. Every single week, I'm dollar cost averaging. Every single month, I'm dollar cost averaging. And when everybody's running from crypto, I'm buying the fear. And my assets keep growing. And when my assets appreciate, I don't know when it's going to happen, but when it does, I take some off the table and I secure my family's insurance. And in the insurance, nobody can touch that. And then I create leverage. And on top of that, we have trust. We have S Corp set up. We have protection for our cryptocurrency. We have a whole ecosystem because that's how winning is done. The wisdom of King Solomon, the richest man in Babylon. I read all these books and there's so much wisdom out there that is timeless. It's absolutely timeless. Insurance has been around since the Roman days, guys. The markets will always be the markets and the 1% will always remain the 1%. And guess what? All of us have access to this information. So stop believing the hype. Stop believing the hopium. Get disciplined physically, spiritually, and financially. Put your blinders on. God, family, and protection of your ecosystem at all cost. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise. Get your shit together. Love you guys.